Evening all, some more tactics for you. Right, now this one is actually a pretty funny one. What we're doing here is we're lying in wait, waiting for someone to hack B. Oh, we have a customer, so here we go. This is something I love doing, particularly with the shotgun, just because it's so funny what people obviously don't see. I guess with the scout suit, obviously there is a slight reduction in what they can see in their top left radar, but I'm always blown away by how much people just do not look when they come to do these things. So that was customer number one. Watch this. I will leave the action for you. Enjoy. So there we go. Basically, oh, that's funny. So this is the irony of this whole situation: is some people are so stupid that they just blindly hack stuff because all they're thinking of is the war points, and what they don't realize is, I think this is becoming quite a strong tactic that people are using now. Certainly we're seeing it more and more where you'll basically, I mean, I will lie in wait for somebody to run past me, then run behind them with the shotgun. This is an excellent, amusing, hilarious bit of fun you can have where somebody just will not see you, and then basically you can then zero in on them, because the easiest shotgun kill is one where they haven't seen you yet. And I think this is certainly something to consider. So there we go. So basically this is something, again, prime example, this guy hasn't seen me, bang. Just gives you that little bit of extra time. There's no evasion, they haven't evaded yet, and you're able pretty much to smoke them. Now, I also think, like this dude here, let's take this prime example here. This guy has seen me, so I know that he's going to either come for me or, not in this case, so I back off. And I expect him to come around the corner where I'm basically ready to aim and kill him. He doesn't come. So what I do is I run around the corner, then basically we're in a position where we're both in that moment of surprise. And if we only have time for one shot, the shotgun will win every time. However, it doesn't always work that way. It's funny really, because I think a lot of people, like this guy hasn't seen me, so he's not really, I mean, only when I start to hit him does he start to evade, and by then it's too late. So this is something I would suggest is worth doing. With most Dust players, they run around like headless chicken looking to try and kill someone. They see a red and they'll just run at that red. It's quite interesting how single-minded some players are. They don't necessarily think about the best action is not always. So again, I just can't believe that. The fastest scout in the game pretty much, and he's trying to Nova knife me. Why? I just don't get it. So it doesn't make much sense, does it? But I think certainly when it comes to the way that we can kind of fool people into either coming at us, so walking over remote explosives, for example, or even better, if we can fool people into or rather just so they don't see us, then we can basically blap them quite easily. And I'd say this is a good tactic. This is something definitely worthy of study, because I think a lot of the kills I got with the Flaylock were usually encounter kills. So what I mean by an encounter kill is like these dudes here, you come across them, they've seen you, you've seen them, and it's all about who's going to win. Now, with a shotgun, you have to change your gameplay a bit, because most encounter kills, it's not necessarily a given that you're in the right range or you've got the right drop on your opponent. So with shotgunning, what I find is it's sometimes better to kind of get somewhere than wait and allow them to make an action. Maybe they run past you, maybe you see them on the radar and you can then flank behind them. There's all many different things, and you almost have to be a bit more of a thinking player when you play scout, and I scout shotgun particularly. And I think this is I think why there's quite an interesting change of pace, because this time I'm actually having to think on my feet. Instead of just relying on the fact that the Flaylock was a good gun and it would kill stuff pretty easily, I think I now have to basically consider, you almost have to see a target and say, well, how am I going to beat them? What's the best way to do that? And that's a nice way to do it. Now, again, interestingly enough, I think a lot of people nowadays are using Scout Suit, which is really nice to see. A lot of people are using Scout Suit with Nova knives, which if that floats your boat, then good on you. They are good fun. But certainly not, a shotgun versus a Nova knife. I'd take the shotgun every time, because I've got that little bit of range, and generally I'm going to hit better than you can hit, because Nova knives still feel a bit balked. Now I'm sure I'm going to get comments saying I'd kill you with my Nova knives. No, you wouldn't. I'd kill you with my shotgun. I would, no baxes. Basically, all right, I'm being a kid, but I think there's something quite cool about Scout suits generally being used more. I like to see that. Now, what's interesting, I think, as well, is quite a lot of people are running them, obviously, with the same relatively fit that I run, which is obviously complex kinetic catalyzers. But then I think also, a good shield tank, or in some cases, I've seen some good Galactic suits using obviously armor plate. So that's really nice to see as well. So I think just generally there seems to be more of a kind of mixture, and again, this is probably why they do need to nerf things. They need to make the Caldari Logi not as good. They need to make, I don't know, whatever it is, not so good, so that people will migrate to the other suits and the other guns. And I think they need to keep tweaking and balancing these things. But unfortunately, like Eve, there will always be a fit of the month. Whatever that is now, who knows? Maybe it'll be the Amarlogy, who knows? But there's going to be a fit of the month all the time that most players will hear about, and they'll migrate to that, and that's all they'll run, which is a massive, massive shame. It would be good if everybody could just run similar suits. But however, alas, I don't think we'll get that anytime soon. Interestingly enough, the submachine gun is ridiculously OP. That needs a nerf now. I don't use machine guns at the moment, submachine guns, but I have used them many times before, and they've always been good. I mean, they are. Whereas the Flaylock obviously was just a good area of effect weapon, the SMG is just a spray weapon. You just literally spray in the right direction and you're going to do damage. So I would say that if there's anything now that maybe just needs some focus, it's probably the SMG, because you're seeing an awful lot of scouts running SMG now, which again, I could certainly skill up into it and use it, but I've decided no, I'm going to stick with my shotgun. It's not perfect, but I think it's just my play style I like, and I rarely have to worry about ISK because I've always got plenty of it. I rarely end up negative on the old ISK stakes. I probably will start losing more suits because I'm running scout shotgun now. So maybe I'll go for an advanced fit just so that I don't have to kind of keep throwing good money after bad by running the wrong fit. But it's interesting because certain guns as well really cause me problems now. Things like Scrambler Rifle, the Assault Scrambler Rifle, very good gun and does me a huge amount of damage. Anyway, returning to the topic, I think there is definitely something to be said about, I don't know what we would call this, almost stealth gameplay. So looking for an enemy, finding, seeing if you can get the drop on them before they drop on you. Things like scanners help a lot here, because if you can see an enemy coming, then you can pretty much set up an ambush. It is amazing how few players think tactically in this game. They just think, there's a player, I'll run at him until he's dead or I'm dead. So you can manipulate that. You can get people to run across, explosives or into a kill zone that you basically set up. And certainly in skirmish, this is a hilarious, kind of tactic, because most people they'll try and capture the objective blindly, not really giving much of a hoot if they die, because hey, you get war points, don't you? So this is the problem, I would say. It's something you can exploit quite nicely. Evo almost lost his tank, good job. He kept it, that's nice. But I think certainly there's something to be said about setting up a bit of a kind of a kill zone, setting up traps, and basically waiting for your enemy to come and hack something, and basically just having a drop on them. You can do this with any gun as well, sniper rifles particularly as well. Can do it. So there we go. Victory. Good battle. I think, again, this is a good showcase of how kind of frantic the game's becoming. It's not as, I don't know, maybe it's me, but certainly when I played, it's funny because I think it can be a bit boring if you go 30-2 every match, because there's no challenge. When there's no challenge, there's no fun. So there I went 13-7, which isn't great. I died a few times, but this was my migration back to the shotgun, and I've got to admit it was doing well. Wait till you see the next one. The next one was even better. I think the shotgun is certainly a gun that's going to become probably my main. So there we go. In terms of tactics, hopefully that was of interest. Don't just hack stuff. Wait for the other person to hack it, kill them, then hack, and you get double your points. So hope you enjoyed that. See you next time.